That. Hola, everyone. Hola.
Hey,
Buenas
hey,
tardes.
bonjour.
Hope you guys are having a great day. We over here getting prepped. We was pre-gaming before the show, getting things together,
Literally.
vibing out. You got to get that
Oh,
energy encircling one another so that way we
hell yeah.
connected. Now we won.
Yeah.
All right. Welcome, everybody, to another episode of the Shinobi podcast featuring my man, Mr. Smoov.
Hey, hey,
As
hey.
as always, we back, man. We back with another one. Told you we ain't gonna stop, man. We ain't playing no games.
Uh-uh.
But yeah, man. We thank you guys for joining us for another episode, man. Another episode. Man, today's been a good day, man, and this is always a welcome addition into the day. I should say into the fray, because there's a fray going on in my life. There's just so much going on.
Yeah.
But yeah, we keeping track of it and we making it happen, man. But thank you guys for joining us for another episode, man. Mr. Smoov, you want to say anything to the people starting off?
Man, it's been a fantastic week. I hope everybody has had one as well. If you have not, I'm sorry. It'll get there, but this count this as the new start to your week for sure. Because this is where we
Rebirth.
come to uplift. Yes, we come to uplift, help you heal, everything, man. So we're gonna get to it. We got some fun shit getting ready to we're gonna talk about today. So I'm excited. I'm excited. A lot has happened this week for
I'm sorry.
us. No, you guys, I was gonna say just a lot has happened for us this week, man. So we've been moving, but we've been staying focused on this right here for y'all. So I hope y'all are excited just as I am about this, because man, this has been epic, epic.
I was wanting to say, when you mentioned healing, I feel that every time we do our thing before the show and all that, and then once we get into it, I feel like it's just this energy that just locks us in, and then we're like,
Yeah.
we're there, and now, like, at this point, at this very moment, I just feel like I'm like cruising like a motherfucker, bro. You know. So I'm digging the vibes, man. Like he was saying,
Hell yeah.
man. Like this is a show about good vibes, man. We may talk a lot of shit, and a lot of it may be vulgar, especially coming from me. That's just how I like. That's just how I communicate. I won't even say like to communicate. That's how I communicate. So if you guys could just understand that the vulgarity isn't. It isn't anything attacking or malicious or anything like that. It's just my way of explaining things, Once you can see past the surface of the vulgarity, you can really see that underlying message that it's pretty fucking important, I believe, which is why I'm here, expressing these things to you. You know what I'm saying? Got some blueberries, by the way. Remember, everybody, take care of your health. Blueberries. I fucks with blueberries, man. If you can get to like a farmer's market or something, do that, because shit in the grocery stores is, man, it's good quality is few and far between in the grocery store. So, more importantly, if you can grow your own shit, then do that. That is I feel like that's an essential skill that we're all gonna need, the way things are going these days. But yeah, man, take care of your health out there, man. Like, what really goes into your body is what you become, man. You really are. Because, with my job, I guess I never even told people what I do. My day job is I'm a fireman. So I see a lot of the effects of the things that we consume, from food to the things that our mind consumes, the things we allow to go into our eyes, the artificial light that we consume. I see pretty much on a daily basis the effects of the accumulation of those things not having natural things in your life, you know, like having the sun, you know what I'm saying? Just being out in the sun, just being out with your feet in the grass, you know, things like that. Eating things that naturally grow, that aren't modified, you know what I'm saying? Shit like that, man. And since there's so much of the bullshit out there, man, it's difficult to really get what you need, you know? But somehow you figure that shit out, man. But it's just, I've learned you got to make that shit priority. It really has to be priority. Like what's going in your body has to be a priority, and you have to look at things a lot differently. You have to look at food a lot differently, and everything that goes in, it's like, fuck, man, what is this going to do to me? Because there's some things I shouldn't put in that I do, but I know what I'm doing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But, you know, just having that awareness of that, you know, and having the discipline to get better with that awareness, to one day you can be like, you know what, I know what this is going to do to me, but I love the pleasure of it. I love the taste of it. And one day being able to be like, you know what, I don't even need this. Boom. You know what I'm saying? So it's just a step at a time, man. But yeah, I definitely want to stress taking care of your health, taking care of your physical fitness, your mental fitness as well, man, because we can definitely mentally get exhausted. So your mental fitness for sure. Anything you want to add to that, bro?
I wanted to ask, because you mentioned, you know, keep putting into the body, like, and you're a fan of blueberries, and everybody in different states has got like a different fruit style, you know, that's more dominant. What would you say top 3 fruits for the or that are good for the body? What top 3 fruits would you say everybody should have, like, right there for them at every day?
Well, the thing is, bro, I can only really go off what has worked for me, because I'm not someone with like some extensive book nutritionist knowledge. You know what I'm saying? I continue to experiment with my own body. You know what I'm saying? For me, I would say my top 3 fruits, man, mangoes has made its way up there.
Yeah.
It really has. Since I moved to Florida, bro, like mangoes has really risen, because there's different types of mangoes. That's the thing, man. Once you start to get exposed to like different kinds of fruits and things like that, it's like, you know, there's different types of the same species of fruits. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, it's almost like nature has given us this never-ending abundance of things. You know what I'm saying? I mean, if I alone have fucking 50 different types of mangoes, that's very fucking plentiful right there. So you think of all the other, you know, the other fruits and vegetables and things that are out there, man. So that's another thing I would say to do, is explore, you know, other types of fruits and vegetables as well.
Yeah.
But back to the fruit, man. Mangoes up there. I would have to say watermelon. Because watermelon hydrates you, you know, and, you know, fruits give your bodies the sugars, like it processes those type of sugars, you know, the correct way, as opposed to like processed sugars. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of people think if you eat too much fruit, then, you know, that's going to be an overload in sugar. But your body actually knows how to use that shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it won't be, you know what I'm saying? But watermelon is a good one for hydration, because that's another big one, is hydration. And you'll see that a lot here in Florida. Like I see that a lot on like calls and stuff I go on. A lot of people just don't fucking hydrate. Like they live next door to the sun and they don't hydrate, you know? So I know people that live in the cold and shit aren't hydrating. You know what I'm saying? But that's just another simple thing that you can do. You know what I'm saying? It's fucking simple to go grab some water and drink it. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
Your body's made up of a lot of that shit. You know, it keeps everything flowing and moving. If if you don't have any, pressure to push through your pipes, which are pretty much like your blood vessels and shit, if that's all dried out, then there's nothing flowing, and everything that relies on that flow, it's not going to get what it needs because nothing is flowing to it. It's all dried up. So you need to keep yourself hydrated, but not overly hydrated. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
There is a healthy level of it, but hydration, that's just another simple thing that you could do to improve your life, is drink water, more regularly. You know what I'm saying? You can always tell, because there's two things I keep an eye on. I keep an eye on my piss and my shits.
Yeah.
I'm always, because I know.
I was gonna say clear and solid.
Your shit needs to look like the intestine that it came out of. You know what I'm saying? Like, like you said, fucking smooth, not hard to come out, not in fucking little fucking pellets and clumps and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? It needs to be that shit needs to move smooth like a snake through your intestines and out. You know what I'm saying? So I keep an eye on that. I keep an eye on like the color of my urine as well. I know if my shit is looking like gold fronts, then I need to drink some motherfucking water, bro.
Hell yeah.
Just keep an eye on that type of shit as well, man. Like, you need to keep an eye on what's going on with you. Like, a lot of motherfuckers just live and they don't know what's going on with them. They don't know the fucking, not saying you have to be a medical a medical expert or anything, but they don't even know what their fucking extremities are called and things like that. Like, they don't know what they are, you know what I'm saying? So learn what you are, because we're all affected, especially like when it comes to weight loss and stuff. We're all affected by food and things differently. We all have different genes, and different metabolisms, and some people just gonna be big motherfuckers regardless. Like, you just gonna be big. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But you don't have to be big and unhealthy though. That's two different things. You know what I'm saying? So there's a lot to consider, man. That's why I can only give my experience and, not really say it's an expertise, is because, like, look at you and our bodies are going to work totally different. We're totally different structured, you know what I'm saying? So
for sure.
What's working for me, and then, the genes I got from my mom and my dad, like, it's going to be certain food that I intake that's going to be working better with my body, and, vice versa. And, then you think of like food allergies and things you can't eat and what your body is affected by and shit like that. It's very case by case, you know what I'm saying? So,
definitely.
So you have to experiment. Like, you really have to go out on the ledge and be like, all right, I'm just gonna dive into this experience and see where it takes me. And then you gain knowledge. You slowly gain knowledge over time, and then you start to figure out like, okay, this works good with my body. This isn't so good. Maybe I can use more moderation with this type of thing. You know what I'm saying? Something that may not be that great. I don't believe you have to like cut out at things you enjoy. Like, you don't have to have a unenjoyable life to eat well and treat your body well. You know what I'm saying?
People be putting themselves through that ringer, boy. I can't have this. I got to eat just a salad. I'm like, that's bland. Like, why would you do that to yourself?
Oh, that's just suffering.
No nutrition. Yeah, like, you're not nutrition. Like, you're not giving your body any kind of nutrition whatsoever with just some green leaves, and that's it right now. Like, make that shit color. They say colorful salads are the best salads, and I'm like, I have to agree, because like, when I eat salads, I'm a grilled chicken kind of guy. Like, you slap some grilled chicken on there, I don't even care. It can be just a grilled chicken and the leaves to itself. I'm fine. But
I'm with you.
But color wise, like, they say the more colors in there, like, the better and stuff. Some people have like fruits in their salad and stuff. So yeah, I've seen strawberries in salads.
Oh,
I see
dude, that's a good one. Try that. Strawberries are good. Apples are too.
yeah. Okay. I've
Apples are
had
too.
like I've had a what is that? Damn, I done forgot what it was already. Oh, like a vinaigrette, like a strawberry vinaigrette. I've had that before on a salad. That was pretty darn good. But
I like vinaigrettes, man.
yeah, yeah.
I
They
started to get away from the more heavy. I started to get away from like the heavy, creamier dressings and started getting more into vinaigrettes myself.
yeah, yeah. I feel that. I like that though. That's what I get when I do colorful ones though. That's I don't make them at all either. That's the bad part because if I make them, like I'm just like, here it is. But like I'll go to like a restaurant or something. And I have to look through the menu and be like, all right, that's not enough color. Still not enough color. I'm like, okay, well, that's got plenty in it, because it's different types of leaves. Some of them are spinach based, some of them are lettuce based.
For everybody out there, the chicken Caesar salad is not colorful.
No,
That be everybody go through that chicken Caesar.
that Caesar dressing be getting you,
Bro, that
dressing
should
get
be
you.
good, bro. Oh,
It do.
good.
It do. It do. I get like now. I would say if I get like a Caesar salad, I'm putting like sunflower seeds in there. I'm throwing. I'm not too big on like tomatoes at all. Like the little round ones.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not a fan of tomatoes. Period. But
I've
like,
never been a tomato
in that
guy myself, man.
But in that
I've been trying to like ease them in.
It's hard. It's hard. Like I just. I find like now it depends. Like if I'm eating like something that I don't know the tomatoes in there, and I taste it after I'm chewing it or something, I'm like, well, that ain't hurting me none. So let me, let me keep on eating. But if I see it, I'm just like, nope, gotta take this out now. So
That's funny, man. I'm the
like
same fucking way, bro. Like you're like, damn, I guess I just ate one.
yeah, I'm like that gum. But I'll put like ketchup. Ketchup's depends on like what kind of ketchup you're getting. So ketchup's good and bad. I'm a ketchup kind of guy too. Like I'll put ketchup on.
Just get the shit without the high fructose corn syrup.
Yeah.
Yeah, get like a organic ketchup because I love ketchup too, and I had to find one that wasn't full of fucking sugar and shit like that, but got some good ones.
Okay. Definitely, man. Definitely.
Mustard too. I like mustard too.
I like mustard. I've been using that since high school. Honestly,
Man, we grew up eating them damn bologna sandwiches, nigga.
Yeah, hell yeah. But I mean, like, I'd never put it on that at all. Like, I was just like, I was weird because I put ketchup on it. I put ketchup on those, but
hell no.
Like
You can keep that shit, nigga. For real.
But now I look at it, I'm like, man, fuck, man, that was awful. I don't know what I was thinking. Because now
That's funny.
I put mustard on there. Put mustard on that stuff now, but like I go mustard now is just like a keepsake because cramps, just like muscle stuff from working out and everything, just like a little recovery. So I'm like, oh yeah, I'll keep mustard around. I'll put it on.
What does mustard do for that?
What?
Enlighten me. You said about cramps and shit.
Oh yeah, so like. I don't know how. I really don't know how this shit works out, but it's something so like. It was new to me when I found out. So in high school, like I played football in high school, and I caught a cramp during a game one day, and you catch cramps when you ain't hydrating yourself enough, basically, or you're like excessive, like your body's done put out so much of that water that you had, like there's nothing keeping your keeping everything kind of like loose and going. So I caught a cramp and I'm like laying on the field and my trainer walks by and they had like we had like these
mustard
like,
sandwiches.
No. Yo, God. We had these like little plastic cups. These like little ramekin cups of like shot like Squirtworks and mustard or like pickle juice or something.
I have heard of pickle
And
juice.
she walked out there and handed me mustard and was like, "Here, like take this." And I'm guessing because of like the salt that's in there, because salt's like a absorbent, so it kind of soaks in what you have and kind of retains it.
Yes, sodium is an electrolyte too.
Yeah, so she gave me that and was like, "Here, like, don't chug this, but like, get you enough water in, you know." And I'm like, "All right." So kill that. I kill that, and I take the mustard and everything, and I'm like on the sideline, like kind of like stretching out just to get loose again. And I mean, after that, it was like instant. Like I was like, "Oh shit!" Like I don't feel that no more. Nothing's tight, anything no more. You know, I'm ready to roll and stuff. So I found mustard to be a good like substitute for a lot. Yeah, even though like I don't incorporate it a lot, like sandwiches. When I come home, I do like a little spoonful of mustard and carry on. But everybody's got their own thing. Pickle juice is definitely that universal thing for everybody. So I don't know, but it is
all right.
It is, though. Yeah.
Well, we got right into it, but I still want to play a song, my nigga.
Hell yeah.
So everyone,
this is intermission.
I'm about to say we're gonna take a little brief intermission, and just like last week, we got Makami again. I tell you, I've been listening to all his shit. Now this one isn't very dynamic as the last one. This one is fucking more chill. So I'm interested to see kind of where it puts you. You know what I'm saying? Where the vibes put you.
Power on.
Now the hook, I love the hook because it says very little, but it says a lot.
Okay.
All right, so let's see here. So what is this? What's this album called? We're going to go through the whole thing, baby. So we got Wap Con Josh. Wap Con Josh. I don't know if I'm saying that right, but that's the name of the album by the artist Makami. The name of this song is Mozambique Drill. So you heard the drill music, right?
Yeah.
Okay, this is called Mozambique Drill. Here we go, baby. Shinobi Podcast. Mr. Smoov. King Shinobi. Makami. Mozambique Drill. Here we go. Oh. Let's get this shit right.
Boom.
Got these damn Bluetooth. You have a couple things hooked up. Damn Bluetooth be hooking up to every fucking thing. Well, it hook up to exactly what you don't want it on.
Exactly. Exactly.
All right, baby. Here we go. It's official now. Technical difficulties over. All right, let's dive into this, baby. Here we go.
The taxi cab mortician with the money tray. The camper around me had more expensive. The soft convention was funny face and half off, nigga. This money way. Flip you like hacksaw Jim with the 20 gauge, no honey made. I never did it for the gram. I Had a vision I was willing to enhance. Went from 720 to 4K in one night. Dumb nights. My forte is intuition, something like play stupid games and win stupid prizes. 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 Play plenty games round the business, one to spend for the rap. Play stupid games, don't concentrate before it gets. Play stupid niggas round the business, one to spend for life.
You can't perform around us.
They fucking over in the worst fashion. What if I get the yapping? It's gonna be a million purse snatches. Get your napkins, crab wrap on the menu tonight. Let's get it cracking, none I'm snacking. I'm an Israelite. That shit I did was savage. All in the name of living lavish. Leviticus and tatters. Call the neighbors, get the package, and get this shit established. Like hard homes.
Keep these fag bodies off MCs out of your life, man. They wanna be you, they want your position, they want your tongue,
Play
bro.
stupid
They
games
want
and
your
win
language, your
stupid
style.
prizes. Play stupid games and win stupid prizes. Play stupid games and win stupid prizes. Play stupid games and win stupid prizes. Play plenty games round the business, one to spend for the rap. Play stupid games, don't concentrate before it gets. Play stupid games round the business, one to spend for the rap.
Ballpoint pens and weed, no stems. How can you drop gems and you ain't got no ends? How could we ever blend? How could we ever be friends? All I need is a medal when this life is sin. Yo, what's the price again? I wanna know. Ain't no advice to give, I gotta go. With only one life to live, I'm trying to grow. Idolize J and Big, I love the dope, for sure. My life revolves around science. It's survival of the wisest and the strongest, who the highest. And you don't bother me the slightest. You dirty niggas is the virus, why they sleep like the itis?
But we can't because they ain't gonna do nothing. Run, press charges, call the cops, start crying, and doing whatever is necessary to get you incarcerated.
The only one to blame is you. Fuck nigga. The only one to blame is you. Fuck nigga. How many times I let you be the thing that you are? Fuck nigga. No matter what it was or is or will become, you always want the things that you want. Fuck nigga. How many times I let you be the thing that you are? Fuck nigga. No matter what it was or is or will become, you always want the things that you want. Nigga. Hey, alguien quiso mami, pues son su tu un foca huevo. Alguien quiso mami, pues son su tu un foca huevo. Alguien quiso mami, pues son su tu un foca huevo.
Alright, baby, we back. A little Makami, a little piano, a little Mozambique drill. We even let it bleed into the next track. Wap Con Joj. So this is the name of the album as well. So yeah, man. We back with y'all. We about to get into it. Thank y'all for joining us once again. Always much appreciated. Me and Smoov got mad love for everybody out there supporting, baby. Damn, this just feels so right with that playing in the background.
Oh yeah, I was getting ready to say like we might have to do some shit like that all the time, let it run low in the back.
Bruh, that's fucking, I'm with you on that. I'm with you on that, but that shit just feel right there.
We went from like, I was like, oh shit, like, and then when this hit and transitioned over, like it was smooth, like you couldn't even tell it was a new song, and it just like transitioned over. I was like, oh, okay, Like I like that right there.
Yeah, man. That's how them albums be, man. They all of them like they just flow right into the next one. Then you be like, oh, that's a new track. I love that shit.
I like that. I was sitting here reading the lyrics the whole time while it was playing. I was like, okay,
Gotcha. Yeah, it's good shit.
that's
Boy, the pianos, man. The pianos, bro. Something about them, bro. Something about
it
them.
is. I want to learn to play too, like that and the saxophone. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I think for me, it's always been the violin and probably the trumpet. Might be the trumpet, yeah.
I played the trumpet growing up, and I stopped.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I played in middle school, and that was fun because you have to work. You got to work from here.
I bet.
You got to work from here with all of that, and that was fun. It was fun though, I will say. I was never like how they do them is like you got like first chair and whatnot. I was never a first chair guy at all. I was like, I'm gonna stick right here in like 4, 5, and 6 and be okay because like I don't want to be the front face at all and solo and all that. Like I was not that kind of person growing up whatsoever. So I was like, I'll let somebody else have that.
Yeah, I should have took that shit in school.
When I heard, man, freaking Masego when he come out with the freaking saxophone, like I'd been a fan of the saxophone for a long time, and then when Masego came out and the saxophone got like reintroduced back into the world, I was like, oh, I got to now, like I have to. So that right there, but the piano has always, like you said, the piano has always been one of my like favorites. You can get some shit hype started off of a piano quick.
Something about it, man. You can't even really explain, like, it's hard to explain how sound makes you feel. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. And everybody's got their own, how music, like, hits their soul. Everybody's just different. Mm-hmm. Some people are just pure trap, pure hype and everything. And you got your people that are, like, subtles and just enjoy the flow and the vibe to the music.
I find myself being a variety of those things now.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of depending on how I feel. Like, one minute I might be into some Afro beats. Next minute I might be into some alternative. Next minute I might be into some lo-fi or some shit like that. You know what I'm saying?
It's
Next
good,
minute
though.
Might be into some gangster shit. You know what I'm saying? I'll be kind of bouncing around. Like if you look through my playlist, you'd be like, what the fuck is going on with this nigga, man? Cause my shit's like all over the place. And I've learned looking back at my playlist, it's like documenting my mentality for that time period. Like if I had a time period where I was liking a bunch of gangsta ass shit, I probably was going through something where I felt that it was like, might have been at war or some shit, you know what I'm saying? Like, I needed that extra boost, that extra confidence, that extra push, you know what I'm saying? Or maybe that shit was just, maybe there was something going on in my life at the time, and that just happened to really resonate or really reflect exactly what's going on in my life at the time, you know what I'm saying? So I was listening to that then, you know? So I've been, through the years, really just bouncing around, really mixing it up, man. I can't say I have like a favorite genre. Like, I love rap, but I can't really say I have a favorite, man, because they all have different things to offer for me. You know what I'm saying? And I get value from a lot of different places. You know what I'm saying?
Definitely. I feel like everybody's got to have a good melting pot of music, because music speaks to everybody in a different way, and people like their country, people like their rock, people like like their house music, stuff like that, and rap and everything. But I feel like there's one genre that brings everybody together. That everybody's just like, oh yeah, I freaking love it, you know. I just gotta find out what that is for everybody. Like, I know for me, like I'm an R&B kind of person, but like rap would get me hype. Rap gets me going. When I get in the gym, like I'm listening to hype shit that's gonna get me fucking pumped up. But then when I'm stretching, I switch up because when I'm stretching, I'm working on my breathing. So I'm working on I'm listening to like steady flow, like pulse, relaxed music. So I can work my breathing a whole lot better. So, but man, that's I know my playlist, boy. It'd be all over the place. Like I got alternative. I've got some house music. I've got some. I've even got some like reggaeton in there. I got some reggae in there. I got some Afrobeat stuff in there. Of course, I got my hip hop. I got my R&B. I got some drill music for sure. That's just like in your face. And it's weird because like on Apple playlists, like you make a playlist and it's public out there, and people go looking for certain songs and they see it in a playlist. They'll follow your playlist, and I'm like, oh, well, fuck me, like y'all get to see me update this shit every day, so
that's
y'all
interesting.
get a new song just about every day. They get a new song every day from me, just about because I add something to it all the time.
I know you can do that.
Like, yeah, my song inventory is probably 2,000. I've got like 2,000 some odd songs in my inventory. And there's like 600 in one playlist, about 1,000 or so in another playlist. But it just be like that. It'd be like that. And I think that's the dopest shit though, to be able to like share music, and you can also see songs that other like your friends like or have in their playlist. You can see that because their name like pops up beside the artist and stuff. And I'm like, oh, I didn't know they, I didn't know they like that. Didn't know they listen to him or so and so. So,
yeah, I love
that.
That. I love the music sharing. That's why I love when somebody send me some new shit. I'm always sending new shit to people. Anything I hear, and I'm like, oh, this is alright. I'll just send it out. But I love sharing music and collecting. It's like collecting this never-ending inventory of music, of sound. You know what I'm saying? And just when because sometimes, like, say if you're listening to an album and you're kind of like in the groove of that album, and you really like it, so you're like, damn, I don't really want to listen to anything else because I really like this. Like, is anything else gonna make me feel as good as this? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But then there always is something out there. Like you dive into another album and then you're just like, damn, this is good. You know what I'm saying? And you just keep jumping, and like fucking leapfrogging. You know what I'm saying? From indie to rock to fucking EDM, and I remember I heavily got into EDM because I taught like fitness classes and kickboxing classes and shit like that. So in that type of atmosphere, you really need upbeat shit. So that really opened me up to that whole world. I used to always love the mixture of the instrumentals and then like whatever girl's voice they would have, because most of those songs have like a chick singing on it. You know what I'm saying? And it just melded together so well that I really got into like house music and EDM and shit like that. I was happy to get in that, and sometimes I'm in the mood to go back into that stuff sometimes, and get hyped up. But yeah, man, just love music in general, man. Just good shit. All right, so first thing I want to talk about. So our man, Mr. Smoov here, he just recently went to the Biltmore house. Now we discussed that briefly last time, didn't we?
Yeah, me end up going to it.
Yeah, because it was like it was mixed in some other events into your life, and that worked out perfect and all that.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So can you I want to hear about your experience at the Biltmore house. So can you give the people a brief description of what the place is again, like a little bit of the history?
So the Biltmore house it's out in Asheville, North Carolina. Beautiful, beautiful. No matter the season, it's a place I highly recommend to visit. Built in 18, I can't remember the exact year, but it was like 18 something. By George Washington Vanderbilt. And this man is wise beyond his years. This man was 25 when he started having the house built. 25 years old, started having the house built. Huge mansions, 4 levels, garden area. There's a pond out there, stables, all kind of shit. But we did like an audio tour. I went through that and just got to see like the intro, like the entryway of walking in. And it kind of puts you in the mindset of like a formal ball kind of thing, like formal attire kind of things. Suit and tie, gowns, all that shit. And you just roll
Was that
up.
your first impression when you walked in?
It was my first impression. Yeah, like I was just like, oh shit. Like I feel like I needed to be in a suit and tie when I walked in because there's this grand ass piano in the middle of the floor, and I was like, what in the fuck is that? Like this bitch is huge, and they got flowers everywhere and shit. But like when you walk in, so let me start from the beginning. Like as I walk up to the door, this long ass fucking yard. There's the Christmas trees. There's this huge ass fountain out in the middle. And then when you're like looking at the front of the mansion, like you can kind of like picture it of horse and carriage pulling up, and you know you getting out in your suit and everything, and walking up
like
these,
some Count of Monte
slabs.
Cristo shit.
Yes, like you're walking up these stone slabs up to the doors, and then when you walk in, like you see the entryway, you see the spiral staircase, and it was dope because as you walked in, like there's a room for just pool tape, like the pool table. That's the place that everybody has fun at. Then you walk in, and there's the dining room. And the dining room seats like 40 people at this long ass table, and there's a huge ass fireplace.
Wait, is the table long enough for 40 people?
Long enough for 40 people.
Damn.
Like I swear, this huge ass fire space, and then you look up. Like as you look up, there's a painting on the ceiling. And like the whole like Leonardo da Vinci like picture and shit like that, but it's not that exact picture up on the wall, but it's relatively kind of close. Like it's real, like the realism art. That shit got me the most. I was like, I was stuck like this forever, just kind of like looking at it.
Oh, like some Sistine Chapel shit.
Yeah. And it was weird because everything's kind of dark because they're like, oh, you know, we're preserving what was here originally. And I'm like, yo, for y'all to try to keep that stuff around that long and have to maintain it and keeping it clean, like that's rough. But kudos to y'all because that's some hard stuff. Because everything in there was freaking cherry wood, imported in from overseas, and velvet. Like the the covers to the beds were velvet. The seat pieces, leather and velvet. And I'm like, yo, like y'all putting together that was some expensive shit to have. Because velvet at that time was like tough to get.
Oh yeah.
Then we walked into We walked into like the first bedroom, which was like the master. His bedroom was Vanderbilt's bedroom, and it was dope because everywhere that he would kind of like put his hand in had a library fixture too. So he had his like his bedroom, his wall had books all over it, like it covered from one end to the whole other side. Um, and then there was a second store. There was a second level to that, and then his bed, which I feel they must not have been tall people at all because this looked like a like
Hobbit beds.
twin size bed. But yeah, like they were width wise they were big, but lengthwise like they were pretty short. And I was like, what kind of look? My feet dangling off this thing, man. If I can lay down, so. um, but it was dope because his room put me immediately in the mind of how my room is because it's all reds, blacks, grays. Um, he had a fireplace in his room. I was like, what the? I was like, yo, this man made sure everybody was staying warm, And so we walked through that, and then there's another room. There's like this tapestry room. I'm gonna call it a tapestry room, but it had tapestries that were you got lost in looking at them. They had so much design of knights and biblical stories and
Oh man, I want to see
kingdom
some
stories and
nights.
everything like that. Like it was nuts. Like I have to send it. I have to send you the picture of like certain of the tapestries and stuff. But they were picture that like they were just they were beautiful. I can't even put it into words. Like, they were just beautiful. It took my breath. And I was like, yo, like I had to stop and just stand there and look. It was just like, and it took them years. Like I think when I was listening to the audio, the guy said 5 years to come up with a design for the tapestry, 5 years to make the whole tapestry.
Damn.
And these bitches is long, like from ceiling to floor, that long.
Oh,
And
those kind.
yeah, and they had the little
Gotcha.
little talus or the little tassels on the end of them hanging off and stuff. So um,
Gotcha.
I was like, man, that was beautiful. And then walked into his library, which was even more fantastic 'cause it was so spacious, but yet so like centered in. Um, every books on books on books. He had stories. He had different books, and they had 8 different languages to them. And each there's 2 to 3 floors of that. And I'm like, yo, this man was all about that literature knowledge and everything. And
Hmm. Hey, every
so I
man
was like,
should
yeah,
have a
that was
library in his house.
yes, that was dope. And I was like, yo, I immediately thought about you. I was like, he would love this fucking room right here. There in each spot, each corner of the room had space for 2 to 3 people, or 2 to 3 people. Each space in each corner of the room, and then the center was big enough for 8, 9 people. And I'm like, yo, this is it's wild to think about that. But he was a person that like shared that, not wanted to share that knowledge. So people that guests that stayed there were welcome to come to the library, get a book. You could sit there, or you can go back to your room and read and stuff like that. I'm
I
like,
love
yeah,
that,
this
man.
man was all about it. Yeah. So we carry on. We're going up. We go up to the second floor, and the second floor was just like you had to question so much shit. Like, how did y'all think to put this on a second floor, and why? Because it took too much. But second floor had a pool, a swimming pool on it, a bowling alley on it, a kitchen, um, like the servants' rooms. No, no, no. Servants' rooms are on the third floor. His wife's room and his daughter's room, and then like a childbirthing room, all on the second floor. I'm like, one, how'd you put this big ass like 75-gallon pool on the second floor? And they had a little diving board and everything. And I was like, how? Who thinks of this? Like who? Second floor, and the bowling alley, 2 lanes, but they had they'd have somebody on the end, like a servant on the end that had to re-rack the pins and everything, and bring the bowling balls back and scoreboard and everything. And I was like, yo, like this man was beyond his time on a lot of shit. But everything, the designs is what got me the most. Is everything like velvet and felt, had that like the Saints kind of look to it.
Yeah.
It had the intricate designs and everything. Matter of fact, let me show you. I don't know, y'all might not be able to see that, but like
Yeah, I can see it pretty good.
like that design, like that.
Uh-huh.
I was like, man, that was ridiculous. There's a dining room. There's probably 3 or 4 different dining rooms in there. One for the servants, one for the guests, one for the main family.
Man, I need me a servant, man.
Like it was dope. He had a gun room. He had we didn't get to see in the rooms at all. There was a room for Louis the 15th. He had his own room there, which I was like, what? Like my man come from France out here? Like it was dope. But
Did he have a bottle of Louis in there?
no. If somebody got to it before I got up there, dude, 'cause that shit was gone if it was. But it was nice though. Like I very, very enjoyed it. We went out to this they've got a conservatory for like plants and everything. Beautiful. Like plants year round that are from everywhere. South America, South Africa, plants from Africa, from Europe. And within the house he had separate rooms. So there was like a main room for like the North American plants, and then there was a cold room, there was a warm room, there was a tropical room. They literally thought of everything for this house, you know.
So what did this guy
Rose
do?
gardens. I can't remember exactly what he did. I had to find out because like
How's all this shit paid for?
Family wise, they had hella people. Like the local, I don't know what he did to pay all these people. I do remember though, monetary wise, servants were getting paid. Local people helped build the house. At the time, people were getting paid $3.25 a day to work to labor and everything, and then the lowest people were getting paid was $2 and some change or something like that. And it was no matter the ethnicity. He was just like, you're getting this pay, you're getting this pay, you're getting this pay. It didn't matter if you could cook, if you was a blacksmith, if you were, putting together mortar, whatever, like you were getting paid because he was wanting to see this to fruition. But he passed away before he even got to see the house completely finished.
Damn.
There's a music room in there. This is the craziest fucking fact ever for everybody. In this music room, it was not finished at all. So when Pearl Harbor had happened, that room still hadn't been done at all. Like they didn't finish that room until here in like the 80s. But at the time, there were paintings in Washington that they felt was like at threat for being stolen and everything like that. So what they did was took $80 million worth of paintings and brought them to the Biltmore house and stored them in the music room. Nobody ever thought they were like, nobody ever thought about it because it was a room that wasn't finished, so it wasn't going to be holding anything at all. And I was like, $80 million worth of paintings. That's fucking crazy.
Mm-hmm.
But there was paintings everywhere. There were portraits everywhere. Even the landscaper had a bust at the house. He had a painted portrait of himself. The family, everybody in the family had like a portrait made of them. It was beautiful though, man. It's crazy to think that some big names have been there. Like Madonna's got a room. Madonna has a room apparently there. I'm guessing they had like Chippendales at a time. Like there was a room just for Chippendales. Like I said, Louis the 15th.
That's where Madonna was at with a bunch of black dudes surrounding her. No, I ain't lying. Madonna, we know you. Madonna, we know you like the brothers, man. We know you like it dark. We know you like it dark, Madonna. It's okay.
We do.
It's
Come
all
on.
good.
So
That thing getting dry now, though. So you better. No, I'm stopping. Go on with your story, sir.
Wow. Trying to think of who else. So his daughter was born there. Her two sons was born there. I don't know. In my head, I was sitting there like, I'm gonna own this fucker. Like I was like, every time I walk through the room, I'm like, oh, yep, I got an idea for this place. Like, I was like, I'm gonna have that amount of money. I was like, I'm buying this motherfucker. And I was like, I'm having at least, 2 to 3 big ass dinners a year. I was like, and just have fun and let people come in and explore and have a good time and shit. I was like, but it's still gonna be open, for everybody to come in for like the public and stuff. And I was like, I still have to have like a big ass party, there and be like, listen, come dressed up. We're gonna eat right. We're gonna have a good time.
That would be dope to get dressed up and everything. And
yeah,
that'd be some classy shit.
That was the dope shit. Hell yeah! And we walked through this like stone corridor, and I was like, "What the fuck is this?" Like we going downstairs. I'm thinking, I was like, "Oh, we about to go where like some sketchy shit happened." Like I'm thinking we about to go to some sketchy shit. Like I was like, "Oh fuck, I'm happy about this."
The realm of buried kings and shit.
We walked down through there. Yeah, we walked down through there, and I'm like, there ain't nothing here. Like, it's just it's just stone walls, and you can see like the house frame basically on these old stones that they kind of keep maintained just so they don't wither away and the house cave in on itself. But you can see like the support beams and everything, and I was like, oh. So, okay, so he took infrastructure legit because he wanted to make sure this place lasted forever.
Foundation, man. He built that motherfucking foundation.
Yeah,
it's sturdy.
I think he fell. Somehow, I think they told me when I was listening. I think they said he kind of like fell in love with Asheville because his mom was already in Asheville and he was coming to visit. So I was like, oh, he wasn't even here, and just was like, you know what? Like, I want to have a place for everybody. Why not here? It's beautiful too because you can look out like the freaking bay doors and see the mountains out behind you. And
imagine what it looked like in autumn.
Yeah, I was sitting there. I was like, I wonder what this place look like when snow's down, when the leaves are falling. What it really looks like when it's completely green. Mm-hmm. Shoot, this have been beautiful. So, but I was like, I appreciated the Christmas vibe because now I got to see what it was like. When they celebrated, if they celebrated, how it looked. Because it was decorated head to toe. So, but it was beautiful. Walked out to the pond. That was nice too. That was the part that I was most excited about because it's peaceful. Not a lot of people walked out that way.
Was it pretty big?
It's just surreal. It was decent size. It was murky. The water was murky, so like I wasn't dipping no toes in, but I was sit. But I did. I sat out on the gazebo just because I was like yeah, I would vibe. I would chill out here. Like this would be a spot to be at. And it was away from. It was a distance from the state at that. So like if anybody wanted to come and find you, they're gonna have to do some walking to come and get you.
Gotcha. Yeah.
So and there was these little bridges heading down that way too. That was pretty dope. But it was so surreal. Like it was just beautiful to witness that. So like now I'm like I gotta plan it again, and I need to go stay on property. I need to go do that. They say it's haunted, but I was like, I ain't looked into anything yet on that. So I got that's my next thing to do, so I can go find out myself.
Okay. So earlier we were talking about eating and health, and even earlier than that, you and I were talking about like actual exercise.
Yeah.
Also realized I didn't give my third fruit. I don't know what my third fruit would be, man. I'm trying to think. What am I eating now? I do like cherries. I used to not be into cherries because I thought cherries were just those cherries in the jar. But once I ate like a real bag of cherries, like those are one of my favorite fruits now. Just watch out for the pits inside. But I fucks with cherries. Shit, I'm gonna go down the list.
What's good about them?
Now that it's in my head.
What's like the benefit from cherries? Like for the body, what's a good benefit from cherries?
I don't know right off the top of the head, man.
I've not ever like looked at a cherry and be like, I want one. Like I'm just like,
Like I know there are many, but off the top of my head, I can't think of what they are.
Okay.
But cherries, I love plums. Okay. So nectarines, I might say nectarines are in top 3 for me.
Yeah.
Something about nectarines, I just fucking love. Like I like nectarines more than peaches, you know.
Yeah.
Something about them. They have like this.
I feel it.
They have like this mixture of like sweet and sour that I like, because I've always liked sour things. I think that might be why I like nectarines. It has that sweet and sour like mix that I like, you know. I like lots of different melons. I got more in the last few years. I've gotten into honeydew melon. I wasn't really into it before because we grew up eating a lot of cantaloupe and shit, and I barely eat cantaloupe anymore. I started diving into other kinds of melons. I really like honeydew melon. Really like watermelon. Cantaloupe's okay. I eat bananas damn near every day because I usually eat smoothies. I usually eat a smoothie a day, and I always put bananas in those, like at least 2 bananas in there. When I'm making a smoothie, I'll tell you what I use. There's a plant protein. There's one called Sun Warrior. It's like a pea plant protein. I use that. I'll use some sunflower butter, so no peanut butter, sunflower butter. I'll usually do figs. I've gotten into figs like over the past year. I've really gotten into like figs and dates. So I'll maybe do figs, dates, fucking apricots, maybe some like bee pollen for allergies and shit like that. Okay. If I want like a little filler, I might put like those little chia seeds in there. Just depending on how I'm feeling. And then, I'll put in sometimes if I want to like thicken it up, I'll throw avocado in there. Now, avocado is better with the chocolate than the vanilla. So if you're doing chocolate or vanilla, your ingredients are probably going to be different. Because with the vanilla one, I would more so maybe do like a blueberries with strawberries and maybe some mango or something in there, more like that. And then when I do a chocolate one, it'll be more like sun butter and figs, and I do a lot of different nuts too. Like today I did pecans, I did walnuts and almonds in a smoothie today. But I like to add nuts in there as well. So I do my nuts in there. I throw my bananas in there. I throw my sun butter in there. And then I use oat milk. Instead of regular milk, I use oat milk. Then throw some protein in there, and whatever you feeling for the day. But that's pretty much what I eat on a daily. You know what I'm saying? I was never really into figs until recently, but then I started going to the organic market where you can go and get like the real good ones, not the ones that's been waiting around in the bag, but like the fresh ones that fucking feel fresh and soft and shit like that, Start throwing those into my smoothies more. Shit like that. Like the things that grow that have natural sugars, that helps regulate your blood sugar better, than eating a fucking Kit Kat or something. You know what I'm saying?
Definitely.
But we were going to talk about our evolution of fitness, like over the years, kind of give a history of our fitness journeys. I'd like you to go first, kind of from the start. Like in the beginning, was fitness something that was encouraged? Was it something that, you later on got into through sports or something like that? So kind of start from the beginning, kind of like the influence of it, and then kind of go from there of how fitness has evolved for you up to this point.
Fitness was, it's been a part of my life since I was able to walk, I would say. Coming from an athletic family, it's almost like it's in our DNA to, fitness and working out. I played Little League football growing up, and in that it wasn't too much but just push-ups and crunches and burpees all the time. But once I got older, I wasn't in the gym a lot. I would definitely say that. I don't think I really got into a gym until I got into high school. But growing up, my grandmother's yard, I swear, was a legit gym. Because we had trees galore to climb on and work out on, and a huge yard to run around in and everything. So, eventually it had become a influence. Seeing all the other family, like, working out in a different way. And every time we'd see each other, like, stronger, faster, and, me being, young, like, I was just like, how the hell y'all doing this shit? Like, cause I'm just throwing on shoulder pads and running around outside, and that's it. But like, how are y'all getting so like muscular? And I'll never forget. And this is something it's always stuck with me too. Is when I was little, me and you were outside. We were outside, and I seen you just outside, just working out. I think you were in high school at this point, and I seen you outside working, like doing pull-ups on the tree branch, and I was like, "What are you doing?" And I'm working out. You were legit like, "I'm working out." I was like, "How?" Like, you're doing pull-ups on a tree branch. Like, how's that working out? And then you were telling me about it, and I was just like, I was so stuck, Like, I was like, what? I was like, what? But it stuck with me because after I seen it, like, I would go out every day and try to do one, and I have never, and to this day, I have yet to be able to do a full pull up at all. Like, I'm not embarrassed to say it either. Like, I cannot isolate to do that whatsoever. But to see you do it with such ease, I was like, how in the fuck is this man? You out here defying gravity in all kind of ways. It's like, you're not able to come off the ground like that. But I think at that point it was a turning point for me because I was like, I've got to get faster and stronger. And then I came and watched a game. Came and watched the game that you played one time, and y'all were playing Newton, and Nana was like, we were sitting on y'all's sideline at that. Like, we're there for our home team, but we're like, we got family on the other team right here, so we're gonna sit over here, like, you know. And she was like, look at Breezy out there, and I'm looking around, I'm trying to look for you, and I can't see you at all. Like, I know your number, and I was like, I can't see you at all. She's like, there you go, he in the end zone now. I was like, how the hell he get down there that fast? Like, y'all was just down here. He got down there. She's like, he run like a jackrabbit. And I'm like, golly, like, I need to be that fast to get away from shit. But I think at that point, like, it was a bigger influence. I was like, I've got to get stronger. I've got to get faster. You know, the dream was to play in the league. Like, every kid's dream is to play in the league. And I was like, I want to go play ball, you know.
And I had no idea I was influencing you at the time, bro.
Listen, dude, we were the same kind of like way when it come to like how we are when we're outside of our own realm, because we were just quiet all the time. We stuck to ourselves, you know. We got in little trouble here and there, but when we got back to like our center of just us, like, we were just quiet. We stuck to ourselves. We did our own thing.
Yeah, I've been like that since as far as I can remember.
Yeah, they used to have to call us to come out of our room just to engage with family, because we. I feel like being myself. But like, it was huge. And then when I got into high school, like, it become. Part of me just wasn't going to play football my freshman year at all, so I didn't. But my sophomore year, going into my sophomore year, I was like, you know what? Let me do this. So, working out was a power thing at that point. It wasn't a stay loose, stay nimble kind of thing at all. It was get strong as possible so you can bully the guy in front of you, or strong as possible. Mm-hmm. So I did track and field, so you could run faster than the next dude. You can throw farther than the next dude. So that's what it came out to be. And I ended up, you know, I went from I was slim and then got chunky. And I got chunky because I wasn't working out, but I was eating, but I was just because of Little League football. I was still somewhat in shape. So when I stopped and then started back, it was okay. Now I've got this massive frame. I've got this massive frame, and all I got is jelly to it. You know, so it's like my coach was like, well, you know, time to tone it up and put some muscle on it. So okay,
tighten up, son.
Let's just get big as fuck and shred shit like no other. So I got muscular then. I got stupid strong.
I was gonna ask you, how did you feel back then? Did you kind of feel like strong? Unstoppable.
Literally, that's the best word. Like, I got unstoppable. And then implementing in, people were getting like tight and cramps and
pulling shit,
pulling shit and everything. So our coach started implementing like deep stretches, yoga, P90X, insanity stuff. Like, we were doing like all this yoga stuff, and I swear to you, like, I was at one point, like, I was a god at this yoga mess. Like, I was sitting there, I could do poses out the ass for them and hold them forever. You ask me to do that shit now, like, I don't have that center balance like I used to anymore. So it's a work in progress again. Uh-huh. But it was definitely, it made you feel so so good and so light. Because me being a bigger guy, like you would think, oh, he's clomping around, he's heavy footed, running around and stuff. But I was stupid light on my feet. Like you couldn't hear me walking up on anybody at all. And when I ran like I was a DB. Like I moved so quick. I was quick to open up my hips.
Tell the people what position you played.
I was an offensive lineman, so I played quick side. I was a strong side tackle on offensive line. I was a nose guard and I was a defensive end at that. I did not come off the field unless I was just completely wore the fuck out. But, I played both sides of the ball, and that's a big statement because for your coach to look at you and say you're going to play both sides, like that's an honor to be able to do that. And as a captain, it was huge too, because I kind of set an example of if I can play both ends of the ball, you have no excuse to be wore out or getting beat or anything, because there's only a select few of us that play both sides. But even after high school, I stayed working out. I stayed powerlifting at that point. Just to going into college, I did track and field, and that was
okay.
Just
So how did it start to evolve going into college? How'd your workout start to evolve?
Going into college, it got more of we're not going to go heavy all the time. It went more of we're going for condition here and longevity, not straight impact and 1-2 and done and then reset. It was all right, how long can you maintain with this weight? How long can you keep going until it becomes too easy for you to do now? Mm-hmm. And at that made me realize a lot about myself. Was there were certain workouts like I could go on, I could add more weight all day long to and keep going, and then there were workouts that were more important for my actual sport that I could keep it consistent, but I could never bump up, because when I bump up, I felt like I was hitting a wall because I kept stopping in it. But that finally changed when I realized what I was needing to do. So I kind of dialed back on powerlifting and more of auxiliary lifts with, some super sessions.
When you say auxiliary lifts, what do you mean?
Just quick little things, quick burst. So I do for track and field, like I had to do snatches, which from the ground up to the shoulder, basically. So that was part of like an auxiliary lift. And then there's a few more out there, and I can't think of them. But like it was stuff that was like high intense, but you worked to it. So it showed me a lot about what parts of the body I needed to work on the most of.
Oh, that's good.
So that was a shoulder workout for sure, because you got to freaking be able to flip and sit under it and work in squats and everything, just to get it up. And that boy, shoulder workouts suck, but you reap a really good benefit from it after a while. Like once they're toned up and everything, they look really good and stuff. So, but that evolution went. That's where that evolution went to. Once I finished track and field and college and everything, I went into like limbo, because I was like, okay, well, I'm not really working out for anything but my health now. So I'm trying to figure that out of what do I need to work on now that I'm not really training for any sport. so it's turned into more of a high intensity kind of cardio thing now.
Mm-hmm.
Keeping the blood pumping, you know, or low intensity stuff and high intensity stuff. So keeping the blood flowing, getting the heart working a lot more for your cardiovascular. Um, Staying. I don't do a lot of weight stuff anymore. More of just that because of my back and everything. So now I'm stretching. I'm doing a lot more stretching than I used to, which is phenomenal to incorporate in any workout.
Ain't it though?
It is because you mess that up. You let yourself get too tight, you know, you're not able to walk correctly. You wake up stiff and hurting, and your body's not meant for that at all. And doing all the heavy weights and everything like that growing up, like it's kind of compacted my back and messed that up a little bit for me. But that's on my end too, because I have myself to blame for all that mostly because I wanted to be that strong to push a freaking truck by myself or whatever.
I was just talking to a guy at the gym today, an older guy, and he was talking about how, you know, how his body has progressed, like, well, as age has progressed, what's been happening to his body and maintaining and all that. And we were kind of talking about, it's almost like as an athlete, you sacrifice your body to do like amazing things with your body, you know, like say you play a lot of basketball, of course you're going to have some knee problems, always jumping, always, you know, this and that, you know, with what you were doing in football, lots of pushing, shoulders, back, lots of heavy lifting and things like that. So it's almost like we sacrifice our bodies in a sense, because I know mine is like beat all to hell, but these were the gifts we were given, you know what I'm saying? So I don't regret anything that I've done.
No.
Like I've had fun fucking being insane sometimes. I've had fun playing sports. I've had fun you know, like sparring and fighting, and I've had fun doing all those things, you know, even though it has taken a toll on me up to this point. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't have it any other way. But now I truly understand the importance of maintaining, the importance of like healing the body, like recovery and sleeping and stretching and rolling the muscles out and getting massages and going to the sauna and getting foot detoxes and all this. All these things for me have been things that I've added into my life that has evolved from, you know, being the one just out doing pull-ups on trees to, you know, getting in high school, playing football, basketball, it being all about how much you can max and all this shit. And then from there, getting heavily into different types of martial arts and, you know, different types of weapons arts where you still use your body with the weapons. So it's like, and then from there, getting into yoga, you know, getting into swimming real heavily. Like there's one point in my life where I was just like, that's all I did was in the pool, bro. Like really shoulders for days, bro. Just swimming. You know what I'm saying? Lungs for days too, you know. I really dove into a lot of different shit and just like feeding into my evolution, like feeding into my fitness evolution. You know what I'm saying? And it's been real fun.
I like that. Yeah.
It's been fun because now I'm into gymnastics and shit now, like gymnastics and handstands and just body weight calisthenics. You know what I'm saying? That's like what I'm into now. That's my poison right now.
Yeah. What you said swimming pool and swimming. What about working out in the water made you feel so like good and what allowed you to know that you got a good workout in the pool? Because you can't see sweat really when you're in the water at all. But like, how do you know like you got a really good workout in the pool?
First, I really had to understand the water. I had to understand my body's movement within the water. You know, when you push against the water, especially like when you submerge your body, that's natural force you're pushing against, and there's natural force that's not having an impact. That's like being hard on your joints and shit like that.
Yeah.
You know. So for me, it was really. I went into it really focusing on breathing. Focusing on like the form of swimming, like just going over and over and over, back and forth, working on the efficiency of swimming. So instead of saying, okay, I'm gonna go here and do 20 laps, I was like, I just want to get more efficient at swimming, so I'm just gonna keep going back and forth until I feel more efficient at swimming. You know what I'm saying? So that was like my goal. That was my goal. But I would mix it up. You know what I'm saying? Maybe I do some laps. Then right after my lap, you know, when I'm tired, maybe I'll go under, hold my breath, go under, do some punches or whatever. You know what I'm saying? But just understanding how my body worked in the water, and then I had to figure out a way for that to benefit me. So doing a lot of speed drills, like, you know, running in the water, you know, you have that natural, you know what I'm saying? Like I was saying, that natural resistance, running in the water, you know, like I was saying earlier, doing punches and shit in the water, just really, really working, like not really doing anything slow, but really working against that, that natural resistance, you know? So that was a big one. That was big for me with getting into swimming. I just got better because in my mind I said, you know, I'm gonna experiment, and then from there, just kind of figured it out. You know, and my body benefited from me, you know, wanting to be more efficient at something, you know, and then from there, I was able to start adding other things to it, you know, like the boxing and shit like that. I was able to start adding things to it, but at first I just had to go in with an open mind, and then after I started diving in, just kind of figuring it out from there, you know, like figuring out your formula. It's almost like you're working in the lab,
Definitely.
figuring out the formula, you know what I'm saying? Seeing what mixes, you know what I'm saying? If I mix this with that, this shit explodes. Let's not do that, you know what I'm saying? Maybe we need another compound in here before we can add that. Maybe they do work together. We just need something else to go in there for it to work, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, you really gotta decode everything, you know?
Yeah.
You gotta decode your own life. You know what I'm saying?
I like that. That's an analogy like that. I like that.
Yeah. So I feel like I'm just figuring out me. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Just figuring out myself, and fitness has been a huge benefit for me, figuring out myself, because I've been able to experiment with things and challenge myself, and you know, just grow from that. And then looking good, that's just the icing on the cake of, you know.
Definitely.
Yeah, that's part of the benefit. That's not the only benefit, you know.
Yeah. Well, you say what over the years, what was a workout or two that got you aggravated the most, and you were just like, I'm getting upset because I can't get this at this moment, and you constantly worked at it, and now you're like, I do this shit with my eyes closed. Like, is there workouts or certain things now that you look back at and you're like, that gave me a struggle with?
Oh, handstands. I could say that easy. Handstands.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say take us down that, because I wouldn't dare one right now at all. But how did because I've seen you, you know, we're out on the beach. I've seen you literally just pop into one and literally just walk and walk and walk. And when I think, okay, well, he's done, you know, he's getting ready to go here, you're still walking on your hands, and I'm like, what the fuck? But so how, like, take us through that evolution of how what you did, and then, you know, to where you are now with it. What did you do in that to get better, besides, you know, disciplining yourself to do it? What were the steps in that?
But you know, one of my inspirations was Aang on it was a Korra, you know, an intro of Korra, how it'd be like air, water, and all that shit.
Mm-hmm.
The intro to Korra, when it had Aang, like when it was doing air, it had Aang like pretty much kind of like his legs, like kind of in the Indian style or the lotus position, but he was upside down. He was upside down on one finger, like balancing on one finger with his legs crossed. And then he did some cool ass move out of it. So when I saw that, I was like, I had to rewind it at first. I was like, is this motherfucker balancing? Is he balancing on one finger, bro? I saw that shit and I immediately was like inspired. I'm like, I'm doing that one day. So that was like something that stuck with me, man. And that really gave me the motivation to get into doing handstands, because I had tried it here and there, but never like never like really extensive or disciplined or consistent with it. I just tried it, you know what I'm saying? Because you gotta think of being upside down, like you're automatically gonna be afraid if you're not up, if you're inverted, if you're not, right side up. So I really took it as a chance for me to grow mentally and for me to conquer fear. Like more than anything, more than actually successfully, being able to achieve the handstand, I more so wanted to get over the fear of being in that position, And I knew through that, if that was my intention, that all the other stuff was just going to come. The physical shit was just going to come because I was going to keep doing it over and over and over again. So you know how it is. Repetition, you start to do that shit, it's just like breathing, you know what I'm saying? So
hell yeah.
I gave myself, I didn't dive into it like gung ho, like I usually would do with things. I really let myself go through a process of like slowly conquering or slowly going higher. So let's say I start out on the wall, you know what I'm saying? I get comfortable pushing myself up on the wall. I go from there, and then I do nothing but practice, like actually getting into the handstand, like over and over, like not actually trying to achieve it, but just the movement to get into it, back up, back into it. So it was just repetition of that. And then from there, I had to start to incorporate other types of workouts to build my strength. So that was another reason I heavily got into calisthenics, because I wanted to be able to control my own body weight. Like at any fucking moment, I wanted to control where it goes, So I got into capoeira. I started studying that. And that's very, very acrobatic and very heavily calisthenics like based, So I got into that type of training, started doing things like learning how to fucking hold myself up with one arm, like hold my whole body up, and just really started reshaping my body, because I always loved gymnast bodies. That's always been like my my ideal body type. Is like a gymnast body, because I think it's like the perfect balance of like strength and flexibility and agility. You know what I'm saying? Which is why most superheroes, you'll see them have that body type. You know what I'm saying? But I got into gymnastics, man, and I fell in love with that, man. Just being able to use your body as a tool, not really needing, anything else, but, maybe a balance beam or a bar or something, but your body really doing all the work, started getting stronger, a lot fucking stronger. I started out being able to walk because for me, it's harder to hold one.
Yeah.
Because you have to really be center balanced, like when you're actually holding it. So it was easy for me to walk on my hands, but I couldn't really like walk controlled. Like I could walk, but I was kind of like all over the place. So I had to really start training myself to, because I had got a pair of gymnastics rings as well. Started taking those to the park. Started doing gymnastics workouts, working on my wrist, working on my biceps. And then it was pretty much like I was training for the handstand. You know what I'm saying? I was training to become strong enough to trust my own strength enough to where I was no longer fearful that I was upside down.
Yeah.
So that way, if I know I'm building the strength for that, that's giving me more confidence to like when I get up there, it's like, I know I can hold myself up here. Like even if I start to get out of it, now I know I can, recenter myself, or, now I know how to bail out, if I'm going too, like maybe say if I start off, too fast and all my body weight goes forward, now I know how to like do a smooth bailout. So like, even if I mess up while I'm upside down, I know how to get back into safe position. You know what I'm saying? So I had to really like figure out all these things and really trust myself more. It was about me trusting myself more than anything. That's what I really learned. Conquering fear, trusting myself and trusting my own strength, trusting that I had the strength to keep myself protected and balanced, that was kind of my journey with the handstand. And then from there, I'll never forget, I was at the beach and there was this little girl. She sounded like she was from a different country, but I used to always go to the beach and train. And that's another thing that'll help you. If you go to the beach and do your handstands in the sand, that'll train your stability. So that way, when you go on solid ground, it's like so much easier. But that's what I would do. I would go train in the sand. I would go train in inclines. Like say if it's going down, I'd make myself do my handstand here to keep myself upright as the incline is going. So it's almost like I was doing some Goku shit, like working against gravity. You know what I'm saying? To build myself up. So I put a lot, and I'm still putting a lot of time and effort into it. You know what I'm saying? I did some at the gym today. You know what I'm saying? I'm finding new ways to challenge the handstand because, once I lock onto something, then I'm just like, all right, what's the next thing? I'm like, what's the next thing? I kind of got this. So I'm finding new ways to challenge myself. I'm starting to like, the agility ladder. I'll put an agility ladder down and just start working between the agility ladder, like, upside down, doing my handstands, or I might have some cones. I might set up some cones like straight down and just go in and like weaving in and out. You know what I'm saying? Working on actually moving to the side with my body, moving forward, moving to the side, like really becoming like real intimate in like controlling, my body. So, to this day, I'm still throwing more challenges to make the handstand better. Cause now I can totally lock out and be like super high, like legs are like super high up there. I can get my arms in closer to make myself kind of like a fucking arrow. You know what I'm saying? Because it's different when you got it in closer and you're pushing to like, if I got it out here and I'm pushing, it's going to be different. So, I'm working, the different planes of my body and just having fun, really, man. And, really benefiting, from challenging myself. Yeah. And that's a way I've been able to stay lean, Like I'm someone who likes lean muscle, so that's how I've been able to stay lean. On top of how I eat as well. But that's how I've been staying lean, bro. Just fucking calisthenics, man. Resistance bands. Today I touched the weights a little bit. I've been doing that was another experiment I did. I did almost fucking 2 months of just calisthenics, and I've been happy with the results. I definitely lost a lot of weight. I lost a lot of weight for sure, but I still feel strong. You know what I'm saying? But lighter now. So just figuring it out, man. But now I'm kind of at the point to where it's body weight, resistance bands, swimming, martial arts, different sword arts and all the other shit I do. But I just like to keep a variety going, just working my body in different ways, working different muscles, different ways instead of just the same old this or this or this. You know what I'm saying? Actually, I always think, how do I function in my everyday world? I might have to go get fucking groceries. Say if you're doing a farmer's carry, you gotta think of when are you ever really holding two even things in your hand? Never, really. You know what I'm saying? So maybe doing farmer's carries with a 45 and a 35 just to kind of throw your body off, you know what I'm saying? Because that's realistically in real life, that's how you're gonna be. The things that you put in your hand aren't evenly proportioned all the time. You know what I'm saying? So I go into that mindset when I think of training. How's my body function? How can I help with my body function with my body functioning in its everyday activities? You know what I'm saying? So that's kind of that's the approach I take with working out, which is why stretching and yoga and all that shit has become, more of a frequent thing in my life than it used to be. Because now it's now I feel like it's time to slow down and let things slowly stretch out and loosen up. You know what I'm saying? It's no longer, I gotta be strong and tight. You know what I'm saying? We still making iron bodies. We still forging iron bodies. But
there's different ways to do it.
Different ways, man. Different ways.
I like that. I would definitely say on my being out and not having to power lift anymore and finding new ways of working out my body. I've put my body through a ringer of letting out old tightness and old pain and everything. Just because now I've gotten back into doing the yoga. I've gotten back into deep stretching and more working on my breathing than anything. I honestly said fuck doing weight shit anymore. Because it's not I've got all the muscle and everything. There's no point in me trying to stack onto it because it's not going to help me. I need to be able to scratch my back and not sit there and struggle to do that shit at all. I need to be able to get back there. So, and even doing that just now, I feel everything right in my chest, right in my shoulders, in the chest, stretching out. So I know I'm still tight and I've still got some more to do and everything. But it's I hate it because I used to work out all in the pool. I used to do all my stuff at the pool and in the water, and cold outside and it's closed. I can't be out there at all. So I'm stuck. I say I'm stuck at that because I'm I can't get my good workout in I want to, because at the same time I'm we talked about in the last podcast, I'm resetting my body when I'm in there as I'm working out.
See, you gotta become a Florida boy. You had that pool year round.
I'm telling you. So I'm man, I gotta get back into it. That's the one challenge for me has always been chin ups and pull ups. I've been able to do one, and that's it. And I can hang there, but I can't isolate enough to pull that body weight up, and it frustrates me all the time because I'm just like, I should be able to do that with ease, which tells me I've got too much on my frame right now, and I shouldn't at all.
Yeah, speaking of that, like when I stopped lifting weights and I just got into calisthenics, like all that shit became a lot easier because I did drop weight, but I was able to pull it. Like, you know what I'm saying? I was able to pull it easier. So that is everything, dropping the weight off of that frame, you know, and you realize that it's a different kind of strength as opposed to like weightlifting strength. Like pulling yourself, that's some different shit. There's so many that can lift 1,000,000 pounds but cannot pull themselves up.
And
it's just different.
That used to be a thing of growing up. Of you should be able to squat like 2-3 times your body weight. You should be able, if you're benching, you should be able to do 2 times your body weight and stuff. And I'm like, that's terrible. That's terrible to tell somebody that. Yeah, because you get, you're these bigger dudes out here in the world that are, 400, 500, 600 pounds or so. Like you telling them, okay, they got to squat fucking 1,000, 12, 13, 1,400 pounds. Like, no, I'm not doing that, sir.
Not thinking of their bones. Like they're only thinking of the wider outer part. But like, how big are your bones though? How much stress are you putting on your bones and shit?
And that's not good at all. Motherfuckers out here breaking collarbones and tearing rotator cuffs and stuff. And I'm like, y'all doing this for what? Because y'all want to, I mean, I get like the whole bodybuilding competition stuff. Like, I get that. But them motherfuckers they know what they're doing for that time being. And then when they get older, you look at them and you're like, you look nothing like you used to at all. Because now you're all withered away. Some of them look withered away.
Look like Mr. Burns, all like hunchback because they done fucking fuck their backs up.
Yeah, so I'm like, it ain't no point in doing all that.
You ever heard of Ronnie Coleman?
Yeah,
bro, his documentary was just fucking sad. Like, like what he went through, and then like how he is now, and all the surgeries and. Oh man, it ain't worth it, nigga. It ain't worth it, bro.
It's not
at all. And the steroids on top of that too. Like, I don't really get the inviting factor of like taking steroids, getting fucking huge. I just personally, my mindset is like, why? What for? Like, what function is that gonna get for me personally? You know what I'm saying? Of course other people see it differently, but I see that and I'm just like, I don't need any of that. Like, I don't need to be fucking humongous, you know what I'm saying?
Nah.
It's
clothes don't fit.
Yeah. It comes down to
you got a custom build shit.
It comes down to internal shit, I think.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Got to be bigger, badder than the oppressor at that time. It does have. I feel like it's got, like you said, it's got a lot to stem with, like an internal battle of why you want to be that damn big.
Well, I can say for men, like for a lot of men, it's a male to male kind of thing. I think none of us want to feel any fear around another man. So I think making yourself appear larger, that's kind of like a deterrent for most people, Like, even if you was the softest motherfucker in the world, like if you're big, people are going to take a second look or think twice. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And men have an understanding of that, and I think a lot of guys, they get big, so they appear, kind of threatening, so they don't bring on any threats towards themselves. You know what I'm saying? Because you know how it is. You can look in somebody's eyes, and you can see right into their hearts.
Yeah.
And a lot of these giant guys, you can peer into their souls and see like you just kind of big for no reason. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
But
You said
you know, to each his own though. You know,
definitely.
I'm not insulting. I just don't for me, I just don't see the functionality of it, you know what I'm saying? You know, in my eyes. But if you want to get big and jack the fuck up, do what the fuck you want. But
By all means.
yeah.
By all means.
It's just not for me.
Say, you mentioned like peering into their heart and stuff, and it made me realize like the quote from Ninja Assassin where she was Mika was talking to, I can't remember his name. What's the ninja's name?
Shit, I didn't forget.
It's Ryu, not Ryu. It's something starts with an R. But he said he looked at her and he was like, "You're different."
Oh,
like,
Rizzo.
Yes, that's it. She's like, "How do you
Rizzo.
know that?" And he goes, "I can tell by your heart." You know, he's like, "You got a special heart." And I was like, "Oh, this motherfucker." I was like, "He's smooth with it like that." And then it hit the flashback, and him and Kamiko were talking, and she was like, "You got a good." She told him, she's like, "You have a." He was like, "I don't have a heart at all." And she's like, "Yeah, you do." And she listens to it, and she's like, "It's saying hello. It misses you." And that kind of like opened his eyes a little bit of like, well, shit, somebody sees me, you know, and see, you know, made me like pulled a soft spot of him out, basically. But I thought that was the dopest shit ever. That was a big part of like that movie. That I was like, yo, that's touching right there, to be able to peer at somebody and say like, can tell, yeah, you got a heart of gold. You got a good heart. You know, you got good meaning to your essence. You know.
For all the people out there, I had Smoov. I recommended that he watch the movie Ninja Assassin. If you guys haven't seen Ninja Assassin, it's a great movie. That's another one not to watch with the kids.
It is a bunch of gore.
Mad gore, getting sliced up, faces sliced off, all types of things. Definitely for us. Shit for us, you know. Shit for us with balls, you know. But I actually want to end with this talking about Ninja Assassin. I want to hear your thoughts, your impressions. This is his first time. I've seen the movie numerous times. Have studied it as well. But let the people know what you thought of Ninja Warrior first walking in. Let's go to that first scene in the beginning. Let's start from the beginning. That first scene where the guy is getting the tattoo, because the movie starts off like throwing you right in.
I was so confused there for a moment, because I was like, I felt like at first, you know, you think of Ninja Assassin, you think of like, yeah, you think of the black suit and everything, and treetop run, and like I immediately thought about like an intro was coming in of like the night sky, and all you see is like dashes of shadows running. But yeah, it did not start out like that whatsoever. My man's getting tattooed, and I can't remember what he said. He said something to the old man, and the old man literally like he like rizzed his ass up. He's like, nah. He's like, you're feeling this pain because, you know, you're getting a tattoo that has a certain meaning, and your body's not responding to that meaning like it should, and that's why this is why it's painful to you, basically. He kind of like questioned the old man and was like, "Fuck."
He didn't want to hear
like,
that shit.
Yeah, he was like, "What?" He pulled out the whole gun and everything on my man. He's like, "What you say?" Like, I'll blast you. And then the envelope pops up, and I was like, "What the fuck is this? Like, this shit just come out of nowhere? Like, like what?" And it was like immediate fear in the old man's eyes because he was just like, "Oh shit!" Like, and he tells the dude, he's like, "I've seen this happen before," and shows him the scar on his chest, and he's like, "I got pierced here." He's like, "I was supposed to die that day. I got pierced here, but my heart is over here, you know, due to a birth thing." And he's like, it's not gonna be. He's like, it's not gonna be good. He's like, whatever you owe them, give it to them so they'll let you be, basically. And
that was like their calling card. Like when they come in to get you,
yeah,
it'll be that black sand inside of the envelope.
There was no like time or warning, no nothing. It was just like, hey, here's the envelope. You're dying now, buddy. So, like, you got no time to put your affairs in order whatsoever. Like, oh well, you know.
That was the symbol of we come to collect.
Yeah, because as soon as that happened, lights went out. Lights started going out, and I was like, I was like, how the hell? And you see old buddy gets literally like sliced, and I was like, I was in it. I was like, oh snap! And then it just got faster and faster and faster, and
I love the scene where they're throwing all the shuriken, and that dude is just like, and then they have like the effects of them going and shit
going off, yeah,
and then the sound too is like. And he's just getting fucking filled up with shuriken and shit. I love that, man.
I got stuck at watching him with the chain weapon. I got caught up with him on that because I was like, you got to do some real training to be able to control that and not pierce yourself and not cut yourself.
Yeah,
because
that's called a Kasuri Gama.
Kasuri Gama.
Mm-hmm. It's actually derived from like a farmer's tool because you know the ninja.
Like a lot of them were a scythe.
Yeah, kind of like a scythe. A lot of their tools that they use, since a lot of them were farmers, they were like just makeshift tools from like farm equipment.
Mm.
Yeah, and that was one of them. You know, the Kasuri Gama. Of course, it's been refined now and. Made for battle in different ways, but
and to see, like, I don't know what I got stuck every time a fight scene come up. I'm like, oh, when that bitch coming out? Because somebody in for it. Like, my man was wrapped up with it, fight hand to hand combat with it, and it was literally just like you couldn't see it when he'd go to throw it. You couldn't see it until it got to like right here, and you're like, oh fuck, like you thinking that shit coming out to you? You're like, oh shit, and. Up, down, side to side, like slashing motherfuckers sideways, up, splitting them and stuff, and that was dope. And then seeing him training, like how his room was set up for his training, like his bed was up against the wall, everything's up against the wall, and had all that ample space for just training.
I love that, bro.
The flashbacks of him, you know, getting beat down and at the temple,
getting tested
and getting tested, and I mean tested, like got his feet beat and blistered open.
Remember when he hit him with that move and like his ribs or something?
Yeah. Oh yeah, this freaking 3-fingered trigram pigs. Like my man said. And I thought he was going like in their belly button and like pulling shit out of them because they were spitting up blood. And I was like, what in the fuck? But he's literally just like 3-finger in there and it would turn. But it was such a force. It didn't, but he did it so effortlessly too because he was just like, okay. And then just in there. And it threw me off because he did it to him twice because he when he had him tied up to the pole and then after he got, after he was in that the fighting scene in between the fire, like when they were fighting between the fireballs and stuff, he did it there too. And it was like he's like, this is going to test you. See if you make it to the end of or see if you make it to the next morning, basically.
Yeah, because he had gotten hit, and then he was like, "Oh, you want to know what real pain is?" And then he did that.
Yeah, yeah. I was like, "Oh, geez, man, just out here."
But he was pretty much like testing his successor. Like,
yeah,
that's what he was really doing. Even though, yeah, as harsh as it was, that's what he was doing. You know what I'm saying? He had the heart to last through the night and survive. So
yeah, my man come in there. He was sitting there meditating, and that whole time, like after that,
he like, what pain?
Yeah, and to get from, and then got like arrested basically, and got tased and all this shit, and getting locked down. And even in lockdown, like my man was sitting there meditating. I was just chilling. I was just sitting there, and the the police officer said some sly shit, and he like opened his eyes and looked at the camera. I was like, oh, you better hope he don't come for your ass now, you know. But he done heard what you just shadows. Said, so, yeah. So he, but that was dope because that fight scene after that, where he's like rushing her. He's like, all the lights are out and stuff. He's like, y'all are too late, to protect yourselves now because they're here.
When he was running and shit.
Yeah. Well, they were fighting where he got detained at and everything, and then he was like
right after that when they came to that spot he was detained at. Yeah, that was the shit.
And that fight in the shadows was dope. The cool part was when I thought it was cool at the beginning when Mika like flashed the light on them and while they're fighting in her apartment, and she couldn't see them, but she get like flashes of them with the flashlight. Yeah. And I was like, damn, these motherfuckers are moving. Like they up on the wall, they on the table, they like right here in front of her and shit, and she can't even see them until she flashes on them.
Using the shadow as their ally.
And then the skyscraper fight was dope. That was a good fight, I thought, to him and his brother basically, and them running and fighting in the street was pretty dope too. And she smacked his ass with the
jumping
car.
Over the cars and shit.
Yeah. Hell yeah! She smacked his ass with the car. That shit had me laugh because he was not expecting it. He was ready to kill her, buddy. And here come the car, and he's just like, you just see him beside me. She's like, oh shit! And she just took all those damn shuriken to that car. Windshield busted out and everything. And I was like, fuck, how she not get hit by one of them at least? But I think the most captivating part was when he got slashed open and had a shuriken in the same spot that he got slashed open in, and he pulls it out. He's in the car and he like lays back and he's sitting there hand signing, like a healing hand sign, and you see it slowly working. And I'm like, yo, this man literally self-healing himself through hand signs and sheer will. And so that's the dopest shit ever. I was stuck on that for the longest time because I had to like pause and go back and was like, how the hell, trying to get the hand sign down myself. And I'm like, oh yeah, I got to learn that. Man. And, but it was dope. And then the temple fight, him fighting his father basically, and his father in and out of the shadows to fight him. And I'm like, buddy, we already know like you're going to lose, but just take your ass whooping from your son like a grown man, because he had done cut him, done like blinded him on one side and stuff. So that was just the coolest shit ever. And I was like, I've got to find the second one now, because like the way they ended it, I was like, there has to be a part 2 to this. I'm like, where is it? I'm looking everywhere for it.
They should do it.
Find it.
They should do it.
Yeah, man. I don't know how. That was epic though. I would say.
I thought you would like it, man. I thought you would like it.
Yeah.
Let me ask him if he's ever seen this, man. then we could chat about it, man. I love that movie.
Oh yeah.
Man. I love those types of characters for some reason.
Because
guys that kind of want to do their own, be left alone, do their own thing, and
yeah.
What are you saying?
And he was, and I like how his story was too, because he was an orphan, got taken in, and he did all that, and the way he was learning was to not have a heart, not care about anybody at all. But Kamiko showed him you can still do this and be compassionate and still love and have mercy and everything. Because he tried to stop her when she was climbing to get away, and she was like, I want to go and live life, basically. I want to be free, and
she rather risk death than be a fucking slave.
Yeah, and when she got captured and came back, and in the end literally came to death, like it kind of struck him because he was just like, that's my friend. I've had feelings for her. They shared a kiss and everything, and it hit him a whole lot different. So part of me, like, at first I was like, oh, he's out for retribution for her death, basically. I was like, and I get, these years go by and stuff, but come to find out it was a little bit deeper, I think, of nobody should have to serve and deal through the pain and trauma of the shit that you put us through, and he kind of gave him that first slash of like, I'm not going to be what you want me to be at all. I'm going to be my own person. And that final fight kind of sealed it of, I'm not anybody's successor. I'm not going to take over and do what you did to us, to somebody else at all. I'm here to protect, and that's it. So I did like that. His brother in a sense had a funky death because he was fighting and then got shot. I think he got shot and then stabbed and something else. And I was like, I was like, he got away with it too easy. So, but the father's death was kind of, I feel like that was kind of like a traditional thing because it put me in the mind of like Itachi, of how his parents died by his hands, and he put the sword literally like down through his like, clavicle area, and then just ripped that bitch back. I was, oh shit! You just made sure this man ain't coming back at all. He just how Vikings call it, like eagle spread it. Like he opened up my man's whole back, and I was like, damn. But yeah, that was good though. I really enjoyed that movie for sure. I was sitting on the bed hype as fuck, though.
To get you hype. Everyone out there, if you have not seen Ninja Assassin, check it out, man. We were talking, well, I had an idea of us to start doing like a separate thing, talking about movies, Shit, we can give reviews, give our thoughts on shit like that. But we could do a whole fucking thing on movies, man. There's so many movies. We could do recommendations to one another. We could fucking watch the same one the night before and talk about it. Like, there's a lot we could do with film, man. So, everybody out there, if you have any movie recommendations, this podcast is going to be highly involved with film and filmmaking and talking about movies. So this is going to be the place for you if you're into those types of things, because we're going to talk about it heavily. We're probably going to throw it in there at some point every episode. You know what I'm saying?
I like. Oh, my fault. I was about to say I like how, and it's a music thing too, because music plays a big effect in like how the movie gets delivered to you.
Oh hell yeah!
And then in Ninja Assassin, like I don't recall any lyrical songs, music being played in there, but how the music got delivered in, like you were on the edge of your seat, and then it had you like you're like, oh fuck, like you got stuck, literally intrigued into what was going on because the music kind of like drew you into it like that. So definitely like movies that have like a good soundtrack to them play a key role, I will say.
It has to.
Yeah.
When you score a film, that's everything, because you know you're creating what they're doing on screen. You're creating that with sound. You know what I'm saying? Because you know, if you listen to it without, like, you know, when you're filming it, you're just filming it. So it would be nothing without that added music, you know, in the mix.
Definitely.
So I love when a movie score just totally fits everything perfectly. Like, we were watching Fast and the Furious the other day, and there was a scene with Vin Diesel's character. I think we were watching the sixth one, the one with the tank in it.
Okay.
And that cool car that was fucking flipping cop cars. I love that shit too. But there was a scene with Vin Diesel, and then the antagonist of the story, they meet up, and they're having this kind of intense conversation because this guy is starting to threaten Vin Diesel's family as they're talking to one another. And you hear the music, and as soon as the threat happens to Vin Diesel, and Vin Diesel's character's mood changes because of the threat, you hear the music change with it. And then it starts to like dictate, like back and forth, like change back and forth between him. It's almost like they both get their own little soundtrack within this little verbal quarrel that they're having, man. And it was very well done, and that's the type of shit I noticed in movies, man. So I really appreciate when it all comes together like that. Like when whoever's doing the music, they have such an understanding of what is looking to be portrayed on screen, that they're able to portray that through the sound waves.
Definitely.
I think that's super talent, man. Out of all the artists in the world, musicians they impress me the most, I guess you could say. Yeah, so love it, man. And with a movie like that, you have to, with all that action going on, and then the drama worked in, and it's kind of a thriller as well. So it's like, you really need that music to kind of control, you know, the tone of things.
How everything plays out.
Yeah. So yeah, Ninja Assassin, check it out. Now remember,
Yes, sir.
it's very bloody, it's very gory, but the story has a lot of heart, bro. It has a lot of heart. It's written well because, you know, all the kids that were being trained, like most of them were like kidnapped, you know. So, and, you know, that shit goes on for real, man. You like real talk. I feel like it was diving into a world that probably exists, but they just put it into a film. You know what I'm saying? Which a lot of films do, but that's what I feel it really did. It kind of introduced you into that type of world actually possibly existing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because a lot of shit's covered up.
I feel like it was a little bit ahead of its time too. Like the movie got put out early when, you know, there was the lure of ninjas and stuff. Like when we were younger, like everybody's like, you know, you don't believe too much in all that stuff and everything, and it's not something you go to the movie theaters to go see it all. In our culture, let me say, in our culture. But now that like anime's boomed off and it's sought after a lot more, that movie now would be a fucking thriller to see. Because everybody's like
it'd be more relevant now.
Yeah, because it would pop off. It would boom so much now. That's what I said. That's why I said like, it was ahead of its time for sure.
Gotcha. Yeah.
But in our culture, it was ahead of its time. And that culture then, that was modern time. That was
Yeah.
still to the T, like how it goes and everything. So like, so it was ahead of our time, but it was right on spot for them, you know. So that was also cool to see a 2009 film at this stage now, and I'm like, to think that, you're like, okay, this would be up there on the freaking charts, you know, and in the box office. It would hit really well now because everybody's like, oh, I want to go see some ninja work and see the training and everything now because.
Well, there are movies that stand the test of time, you know, because they were
yep.
a lot of care. You could tell care went into it. You know what I'm saying? That's why, you know, something from back then could still be just as good now, and it's still going to be good later on.
Yeah, I like those Ip Man movies too. Those are damn good too. I like those.
You said the Ip Man?
To go from
I've seen all those too. Yeah.
Them.
That's one series that is like every time they make a new Ip Man, I'm like, I'm gonna watch that.
Yep.
I don't watch the one when he was younger, when he was older. I don't watch all the damn Ip Man.
I like how those stories go too, because he like a different trial in each one, and it made him better, and it taught his students a whole lot more. And then you see it in the next film. You see how that previous film progressed into this film, all the movements, all the how the talking, how everything flowed in that too. For him to go from like peaceful fighting within his world, and then you go from, and then you have boxers coming in from, you know, America, and boxers coming in from other places, and they're beating up on, you know, the wushu students. So he's like, well, I'm gonna go teach a lesson basically. And he there's no plot armor in that movie, I feel like, whatsoever. No like main character plot armor in that movie whatsoever, because he gets beat up pretty good in those, and then discipline and everything comes into effect, and then he just kind of takes back over, you know. So there's no whole, well, he's got this kind of power and he's not gonna get hurt or this and that. So that's what I appreciate about the Ip Man collection, for sure.
Well, shit, we're gonna have to next episode. We're gonna have to talk about some martial arts film, because I've seen many. I have many recommendations. Shit, I would like to chop it up on that, and
yeah,
because I've been watching a lot of Jackie Chan, bro. You remember I was telling you I was watching Super Cop the other day?
Yeah.
Super Cop is another one. Like, check out Super Cop. That's one of Jackie's. Michelle Yeoh's in that as well. Like, that's a very well done movie. That's another one that stands the test of time is Super Cop, man. Because I used to love it when I was a kid, man, and something was telling me to watch it the other day, man. I put it on and I was like, bro, like, this is even better than I remember as a kid, man, because, you know, now I see it totally different. But yeah, it's very, very well done. Great story, great action. Jackie's never gonna not deliver on the action.
Yeah.
But yeah, Super Cop, man. Super Cop is good shit. But yeah, man, next episode we'll get into some of that shit for real.
You know who Michael J. White is, right? Or John White.
Yeah. So as a black man that does martial arts, like he's been a huge inspiration for me, for sure.
I seen an interview that I watched a clip of an interview he did, and he got asked, he was like, who, if it came down to it in a fight, who would win between Jackie Chan and I think they said Bruce Lee, and he looked and was like, he was so puzzled for a moment, and he was like, you know what? When it comes down to it, he's like, I feel like Jackie Chan would beat Bruce Lee, and the guy asked him why, and he's like Jackie Chan's more. He's got the frame and everything. He's more unorthodox when it comes to martial arts because he can mix in a different style with any kind of movement that he's doing. And I was like, I had to sit there and was like, really, think about that. And he's like Jackie Chan. He's like, I would think Jackie Chan would win that fight off of power and speed against Bruce Lee. And I was like, oh, everybody, you look back, Bruce Lee was so disciplined and fluidity. He could just move with such ease, and against somebody that's unorthodox like Jackie Chan, I was like, okay, I could see that. But now I'd want to actually see the fight happen. But I know it couldn't happen at all. But I would love to see that actually happen, and just to see. All right, let's see if that's true. If Jackie Chan couldn't win off of speed and strength like that. But
you got to watch Jackie Chan's old stuff, and you would probably agree. You'd probably agree with Michael, because when Jackie used to, like, when he had like a villain that he fought in a film or something, he was fighting like world champions and stuff like that. Like, that's who he was. That's who he was doing this fight choreography and shit with. And these motherfuckers when you see these fights on screen, you gotta be super duper talented in order to just dodge one of these punches, or block at the right time. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So I think Jackie had a very good understanding of like real fighting, like real distance, real speed. Faking out your opponent and shit like that. If you go back and watch some of his fights, like there's a movie called Meals on Wheels with Benny the Jet Urquidez. You look up Benny the Jet, man. Benny the Jet is he's an older guy now. He's older now, but he still has that knowledge and wisdom, and he still has the skills as well. But when he was young, he was a motherfucker. When he was young, bro. But fight Jackie Chan versus Benny the Jet. That fight, like, it's fucking amazing. They don't make fight scenes like that anymore. Hollywood has never done a fight scene like that. Like, because these are two actually in real life skilled, martial artists, and Benny the Jet, he was a champion and like a real fighter, an actual real fighter, real deal. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And Jackie would have a lot of people like that in his movies that he would just be mixing it up with. So I know he had an understanding of like real fighting. He had an understanding of fucking pain, because he was always getting something broken and shit in these movies. You know what I'm saying? So I would have to. I haven't watched much of Bruce Lee's movies, which I still need to. I feel like I need to. Like, as a martial artist, I just feel like I need to watch all his movies. But from what I've seen in Jackie's movies, I would agree. I would have to agree with Mike on that, because I think Jackie has a real understanding of, like, actual fighting, even though most people would say, oh, he's just a movie guy. Like, he still can do all the shit he's doing, like, as a person.
Literally.
You know what I'm saying? You can't take that away just because he's using his talent to make film. You know what I'm saying? People get so misconstrued with that type of stuff. Like, if you're famous or something, that means you can't be like a real fighter or something like that. Like, just because you make movies, you can't fight for real and things like that. Like, people are just ignorant. That's all. But yeah.
He did Wheels on Meals.
If you look at his list of movies, you're gonna see 1,000. He has a whole bunch of movies I still haven't seen. Like, I'm still discovering a bunch of his movies when he was young. Like, he's been doing that shit forever. But yeah, man. So we're gonna close this episode out. But yeah, we're gonna dive into some martial arts films, man. So everybody, next episode, among other things, of course, we're gonna dive into some martial arts films. I would like to discuss some of my favorite fight scenes, like, because I study those, like, for myself and for film purposes, film creation purposes. You know what I'm saying? So my favorite fight scenes, martial arts films. Another one I watched recently that's a classic is the 36 Chamber of Shaolin, I believe. But the 36 Chamber, that's on Amazon. It's on Amazon Prime too. But bro, I watched that and I watched that movie and I was like stuck in it, man, because he goes to this monastery and becomes a monk and goes through all these different tests and trials. Being a monk, and it's a very good movie, man, classic. But yeah, the 36 Chamber of Shaolin, I believe it's called. But yeah, I definitely recommend that one too, man. That'll put you in like that focused warrior fucking monk mode. You know what I'm saying? It's really cool, really well done.
Okay.
But yeah. So everyone, I thank you guys for joining us again, man. Another episode of the Shinobi podcast. Look out for us next week with another one. We've been trying to get 2 done a week, but if we can keep getting 1 done a week consistently, I'm happy with that shit. But we already got pre-recorded episodes that are just waiting to be released for you. So keep tuning in every Sunday, 12 p.m. They're gonna be posted up there for you. Remember, we're on YouTube, Apple Podcast, and Spotify.
Yes, sir.
I got my shit written down today.
Oh
damn, where's my page? Where's my page? I might have spoke too soon. Got so much shit written in here. Let's see. Another thing, everyone, before we get off, I'm writing a written reaction / written impressions of The Last Ronin. So The Last Ronin, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Part 1 is out already. It's posted on my Wattpad, which will be on my link tree, which will link you to everything, all the platforms we're on. So go on my link tree. You can find my link tree on Spotify. You can find my link tree on TikTok. You can find it on TikTok as well. So go in there, check out the Wattpad. Part 2 will be coming soon. But yeah, man, we're doing some different things, man. Who else is doing that? Who else is adding that type of shit to their podcast, man? We just out here making unique things happen. But I really worked hard on this, and the story is fucking great so far. I'm finishing up part 3 right now, but part 1 is already posted on Wattpad, so go check it out. Go comment on it. Let me know what you think. Smoov, if you would like to, we could talk about that. Your reaction to it next time, next episode. See how you liked it. Smoov already read part 1, so yeah, man, that'll be great for you to kind of show the people what was going on in your mind as you read through what comes out of my mind. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
But yeah, man. So yeah, go check that out. Remember to find us on Instagram at Shinobi_podcast1. Let me find my other shit. I thought I had it. Hey, we still
TikTok's
working
the
progress,
same.
but we alright.
Yeah, TikTok's the same. You good? Oh, back it up there.
I had my damn page I wanted that had everything. I'll probably start looking through a whole bunch of other shit.
Yeah, TikTok's the same way. Shinobi Podcast 1. IG Shinobi_podcast 1. So we there.
See, listen to Smoov. Listen to Smoov. He got it all for you.
We got Cash App. That's there.
Oh yeah, hit him up. Hit him up with the Cash App. And remember, the Cash App donations go back into the podcast, man, to make this podcast better, to help it keep evolving. Like, it's going right back into here. So anything that you contribute it's going right back into you because it's gonna, it's gonna make us create more, and the more we can give you, and then we can keep that cycle going. You know what I'm saying?
Definitely. That Cash App Shinobi podcast set or Shinobi Pod 7. So definitely hit that up there. The link tree's up there on the bio for you guys, so don't hesitate. The Wattpad is also on the link tree, so like he was saying, definitely check that out. And the link to here, y'all want to be live and ask us questions live, the link for Riverside's on there, so definitely join in this, man.
Yeah, we gotta figure a way to start getting these people in the chat, man. We gotta get these people in the chat, get them talking, and eventually start doing some call-ins. That's gonna be dope. But my man Smoov, any last things you got to say to the folks before we sign out?
It's the new week, new goals, new mindset, man. Keep working on the blueprints. They're always changing, but keep working at them. Stay humble, stay disciplined. Take care of yourself as always. And we'll see you guys back here. We'll be back.
No doubt. All right, baby. There you have it. King Shinobi, Mr. Smoov, Shinobi Podcast. Another episode. We getting close to 10 episodes, man. That's going to be a big milestone for us, bro. Like, I'm keeping track of these milestones, homie.
Yeah.
We got to celebrate every fucking win we get, homie. You know what I'm saying?
We do.
Yeah, man. So thank you guys for joining us for another episode, man. And hope to see you there for when we do reach episode 10. And then when we reach fucking episode 1,000, nigga.
Yeah.
But yeah, much love to people that truly support, not just the people who are just trying to monitor us to see what's going on. But the people who actually support us, man. We appreciate y'all. And we're going to keep putting our energy out there no matter what, man.
Definitely.
We're going to keep putting good vibes out there. We're going to keep being true on this microphone. Like, I'm a firm believer. If you're not going to be true on the mic, then get the fuck off of it. We need the real in this world, man. We need to get rid of all the false fake shit, man. So you're going to get the real here, man. And not everybody's going to agree with it, but that's how the world go, and that's how it's going to be. So we're going to still keep doing our thing, though, no matter what, regardless, because we walk with courage around here all day, every day. So may you all walk with courage as well, man. Walk with love, man. Peace with one another, man. Like, that's... I find that being one of the most important things I seek. Like, I don't give a shit about money or women or material shit. I just want peace, bro. Like, give me my peace. And
yes,
we cool.
Sir.
You know what I'm saying? So I hope everybody's finding their peace out there. I hope they're not letting others disturb their peace, and I hope you can continue to maintain your peace. And I hope this is a place you can come to, whether you're at work or whatever you're doing, or if you just need a little bit of the gospel, you know what I'm saying? Or for whatever reason you're here, we happy you're here and we appreciate you. So we're going to sign out. Mr. Smoov, King Shinobi, Shinobi Podcast. We out of here. Much love, everybody.
Take him out with that Makami.
Peace out. Oh, you want to hear that?
Let's take him out with some Makami now.
Well, everyone,
with gotta go out of it.
I feel you. Upon Mr. Smooth's request, we're gonna get up out of here with a little more Makami. Once again, much love, folks. I'm gonna get y'all all set up over here.
Bluetooth pairing.
This bitch loud. All right, here we go. We're going to get into it. This is called, off the same album we've been listening to, Wop Con Joj. This is called Shiny Brush. So Chiney, Shiny Brush, or Shiny, however you want to say that. We about to get into it. Makami featuring Quell Chris. I'm going to have to dive into him. So Makami featuring Quell Chris, Shiny Brush off of WAP Conjoj album. Here we go, Shinobi Podcast. We signing out, baby. Much love.
They was in their dominion, cold chillin'. Then I step aside to die, kill the vibe. Then they dominion mine. What he do with no feeling when they want him to die? Cry. Don't nothing jerk tears like separation when what you learn, no matter what you heard. If it's what you hold dear, end up disintegrating. Even if it's instantaneous or if it's in phases, places, everyone. Them niggas over there in the different ages. I don't think you can rent that. Bet that. If it's doing money, nigga, double down. If it's porn, then stop handcuffing the broad, nigga, fuck around. Nigga, doggies be liking doggy treats. Heard you bought the bum, bitch, a bad boy. Heard you was rubbing on them ugly beats. I don't have feelings, sir. I keep my feelings to myself. I don't feel the hurt. I don't have feelings, sir. Back you down in the paint. What? Knock you off your pivot, jerk. I don't have feelings, sir. I keep my feelings to myself. I don't feel the hurt. I don't have feelings, sir. Back you down in the paint. What? Knock you off your pivot, jerk.
CC, my Negro, Cabito, Yard. Them boys will see it up, doobie, juvie, coochie, and hurt. All too familiar with different demons. Still seeing the past and on occasion I know how to flirt. They know the reasons. Low drip hit the throat like a netty pot. Nigga said he sought to dethrone my kingly spot, but I bet he not. You in the ring with the nature boy and your legs locked. You can't reach the ropes from hip hop. Nah, attack and walk. But I add, we the best y'all niggas got. We in the spot, best my niggas like he got winners. No John Legend, we ain't ordinary people. We cut from some other cloths. These materials you not used to seeing. Your diplomat selling your plots on a map full of whipped and watch.
Check it out, cuz.
Dirty Disney.
Hell yeah.
Nigga, this hoe. Disney, dissing yourself, so just know.
I'm ready for mine to come in.
Sorry. Keep my feelings to myself, I don't feel the heart. I don't have feelings,
Sir. Back you down in the paint. Knock you off your pivot, sir. I don't have feelings, sir. I keep my feelings to myself. I don't feel the hurt. I don't have feelings, sir. Back you down in the paint. Knock you off your pivot, sir.
Alright, baby, we gonna sign out with those horns in the background. You hear them things screaming? Damn, they sound so lovely. They sound so lovely, man. Shout out to Makami. Shout out to the Griselda crew. Westside Gun, Conway, Benny the Butcher, Rome Streets, Bodie James. All y'all niggas, much love, man. I've been vibing out to y'all work for a minute now, so much appreciated. This is Shinobi, man, and we signing out for real. Gonna hit y'all with that goodness. Appreciate y'all, man. Peace out. Stupid brows, yes.